going on, everybody? Welcome to the late night live stream presented by the Dose Media Network. I'm Ben Hover, joined by Joey Carrion. Here we go. Main slate, Joey. Sweating out just exactly how much money we're going to lose here as the Saturday slate comes to an end.
No, how much money we're going to win, Ben? How much money we're going to win? Win.
What is that a foreign language you're speaking? I don't understand what you're talking about right now.
You don't know what winning is?
Not today. Not today.
I mean, today's been rough, obviously. Minnesota Vikings versus Indianapolis Colts. Just an absurd game script, obviously, for the Vikings getting down 33 points. And then Matt Ryan, obviously, choke artist there. Blame it on the coaching as well. They just went super conservative, and I hate these like unwritten rules bullshits where you gotta not blow out the other team, take it easy when you're up that big. Like, bro, these teams could drop 70 if they wanted to, like realistically. Like the Colts could have just kept their foot on the pedal, kept it going and not worried about losing that game, but that happened. Kirk, JJ, Osborne, Delvin Cook, triple stack with the Colts D scoring 2 touchdowns. If you played that, you should go play the fucking Powerball, to be honest. Then the next game, I mean, that game was fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
And shout out to fucking Justin Tucker. What a pussy.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Tucker, he's money. What did he ever do to you?
Yeah, first time all year I take Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals on Prize Picks. It's minus 130 on the books, yada, 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 whatever.
All right, got it in good?
Got it in okay. I mean, in a 2-leg, your legs are supposed to be like minus 140 or better for it to be plus EV. So it was minus 130. So not that valuable, whatever. Still thought it was a good spot. Didn't think the Ravens would be in line to score a bunch of touchdowns. Let's see. They go for it on 4th and 1 early. Okay, whatever. I fuck with it. Like you're underdogs, backup quarterback, try and get some momentum, whatever. 4th and 1, they get stuffed at the 9-yard line. Could have kicked the field goal. Then Justin Tucker misses his first field goal of the season within 50 yards. All right, whatever. Then blocked field goal. Well, okay. Then Tyler Huntley throws an interception in the red zone at the 10-yard line. On third down. Justin Tucker finishes with 1 field goal. Like,
oh, that's
when are the tides gonna fucking change? And then DFS, I mean, that shit was chalked after the first game. So I ain't even gonna pull up the lineups. I would have pulled up the lineups if we had some, but my shit was absolutely chalked.
Yeah, no, I mean, same goes, dude. I mean, I had Colts D in one lineup, but it had JT. I had a lot of JT, so that chalked like a third of my lineups
immediately.
Yeah, I had
didn't even give you a chance, bro.
I mean, once I realized that KJ Osborne broke the slate as well, I just stopped opening DraftKings for the day. Yeah, so I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure I lost literally every dollar that I deposited onto DraftKings this week. So shout out to KJ Osborne.
I made like 7 lineups. I made 7 lineups. I did full fade JT, even as the best value on the slate. So got that right. Unfortunately, obviously, he gets injured, whatever. Can't predict that. I faded JJ, was looking okay, but obviously absurd game script helps. He goes nuke. Faded Kirk, absurd game script. He goes nuke. GG's.
Yeah.
Played no KJ. Had a lot of like DPJ, MPJ. Alec Pierce was a dud.
Yep.
Went heavy Delvin Cook, so that was good, but yeah, just an overall shitty Saturday slate. Sweating out some Prize Picks right now. Pretty much some unreal shit happening every game. Yeah, we're at that point in the NFL year where it's just pain. That's all it is.
Yeah, absolute pain, man. I mean, if anybody in the chat is sweating anything, major for this game, let us know. We'll sweat along with you because God knows we ain't sweating nothing DFS wise.
I'm not sweating anything DFS wise.
Yeah, you got some props. Yeah,
Prop wise, I got a nice Prize Picks entry that if it hits, I'll win 625.
Yeah, no, that'd be lit. That would be lit. I'm looking for either Devin Singletary or Dawson Knox touchdown. I'll take some Josh Allen rushing yards in the second half. So, still got an eye on the game. But Joey, what we need to do is turn our eye to tomorrow, right? We have 10 games on DraftKings tomorrow, which is great. Usually after you take a fat L in NFL DFS, you got to wait 7 days to really jump back in. I mean, I don't play Showdown anymore, so I'm waiting Sunday to Sunday most of the time. But not today. Go to bed, right? Wake up early tomorrow, and we're right back at it with a full main slate. And I'm excited about tomorrow's slate, actually. I'm not discouraged by today's L because I think that tomorrow we got a big W coming in. I feel like I have a really good read on this slate. So what do you say we get right into it?
All right, let's talk about the quarterbacks here.
Let's do it, man. And I think that the story at quarterback this week is definitely the top tier guys. The high end quarterbacks are going to be the most popular plays and deservedly so. I think in cash games, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert are the three names that are in consideration at this point.
Yeah, I think all three are very good plays, and it kind of just depends on which one you prefer, to be honest. I think Jalen Hurts has like the highest floor / ceiling on this slate, even a little bit above Mahomes. Projections don't necessarily agree with that, but I believe that to be true, especially with Houston actually limiting, opposing quarterbacks from a fantasy standpoint. And I think this is just a very good game for the Chiefs running backs, Isaiah Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon, etc. But right now, Patrick Mahomes is projecting to be the highest owned quarterback. I think a lot of people are going to feel comfortable, obviously, playing him. His first game in Texas in his career, which is where he's from. So kind of a homecoming game for Patrick Mahomes. But I do prefer Hurts in cash. Are you playing Hurts, Mahomes, or are you on the Justin Herbert and cash train?
I think I'm on the Herbert train, man. I mean, that was what my initial read on this slate was. I want to play into it. Justin Herbert and the Chargers, second highest pass rate in the league. Tennessee is a complete and utter pass funnel. They have an elite rush defense and they're dog water in the back end. They just dare you to throw the ball on them. And that's what the Chargers want to do anyway. They're fully healthy, full complement of weapons. Mike Will, Keenan, Everett, everybody is good to go in this spot. So I think it really sets up well for Herbert. If I had all the salary in the world, I would play Hurts. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. But I think that the $1,000 savings lets you get a decent bit into your lineup this week because, I mean, there's not too much in terms of value at the running back position, at least at this point, pending Ramondre Stevenson news. And, at wide receiver, I want to prioritize getting up to Jamar Chase. I think you're playing a 6K wide receiver as well in cash. So, I think that 1,000 does end up coming in pretty clutch. So I prefer Hurts in a vacuum, but I think that Justin Herbert, if it comes down to it, I'm more than comfortable playing him. And no matter what, I will be playing a ton of Justin Herbert tomorrow, whether it's cash, whether it's tournaments. But my initial lean right now, if lock were in 15 minutes, Justin Herbert would be my cash game quarterback.
Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously at home, best matchup on the slate. The Titans are down like legitimately every starter on defense. So it's a very good spot for, one of the most pass happy teams in the league in the Los Angeles Chargers. So I don't mind Herbert. I just think that getting up to Mahomes for 900 or Hurts for 1,000 from a floor and ceiling perspective is a little bit better. Those two guys just have a different ceiling, in my opinion. So I do prefer getting up to one of Mahomes or Hurts in cash. I think there are some options, at wide receiver that you can go to in the cheap range. Chris Moore is available. You still have the cheap Patriots wide receivers, even if Jacoby is in. He's still kind of on the fence, questionable right now, expected to play, but you still have some value across the board to be able to fit Mahomes or Hurts. So personally, I think playing one of those two is the correct decision in cash, but Herbert's obviously a great play. But for cash games, that's really all you're considering, in my opinion. So for tournaments, do you have any specific quarterbacks that you're targeting? in tournaments, any of the cheaper guys. That's really the tournament talk is, are you fading the top guys for the cheap quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes some sense strategically to do so because it'll just flip your build. Everybody's going to be playing into the Hurts, Mahomes, Herbert. I think Fields will be played a little bit in tournaments as well. So, I mean, I think if you go down to somebody like Tom Brady, if you go down to somebody like, I mean, God, Zach Wilson's projecting, okay, I would never make that play myself. But if you go down to the cheap guys, you're going to end up just naturally flipping the build. It makes sense. I'm not too interested in it, to be honest. Like, I think that I just want to play the good plays at quarterback and get different elsewhere in my lineup. I think you could make a case for Joe Burrow and or Dak Prescott as decent tournament plays this week. I was pretty into Fields when we recorded the podcast on Wednesday, but at this point, no Claypool. I mean, it's just hard. I mean, I know that most of his ceiling is just sort of, baked into what he does as a rusher, but it's going to be tough out there with, Equanimous St. Brown and Cole Kmet being primary pass catchers for the Bears. I think it's tough to envision Justin Fields hitting his ceiling this week against the tough Eagles defense, depleted all of his best pass catchers. So I don't know, man. I like the top guys. I'll still play them in tournaments, and then Burrow and Dak a little bit mixed in. I'm not getting crazy off the board or going too cheap this week. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really a point to. I think my favorite cheap quarterback is for sure Mac Jones, 100% at 5K. This Patriots and Raiders game is actually projecting as the best game to target in tournaments right now.
Shout out to anybody who had Jalen Waddle, by the way.
What did Jalen Waddle just do?
Looked like a 50-plus yard touchdown. I'm not exactly sure on the
67
yardage,
yard, 67 yard Jalen Waddle touchdown, 3 catches, 114 yards and a touchdown.
Bang.
Did not have any Jalen Waddle props, but I do have him on some playoff or on some best ball teams in the first round of the playoffs. So shout out to Jalen Waddle. Actually, I'm on underdog right now. Let's see. I could do I have him on this team in my I don't. I have Diggs, who has 6 points. Nice. Nice.
I just scraped into a min cash in one of my 12 teams. So shout out to me. I'm not losing everything today.
I mean, on the Thursday video that we dropped for the Saturday slate, we did say that the Dolphins-Bills game, I mean, prior to even knowing about the weather, that was the game to play. You just alpha up and you don't worry about the weather.
Yeah, I mean, looks like it might end up paying off pretty early in the third quarter here, and we're sitting at a 42 total. It looks like it's going to keep going this way. So, maybe there's some hope if you stack this game still. But sticking with the main slate here, probably good at quarterback, right? Like I'm not going to play any of these other dust balls.
Yeah, no, I think Mac Jones is the only cheap quarterback that I would play this week. I'm not too interested in Zach or Desmond Ridder. Tom Brady at 5.5 is okay. Dak is very cheap at 6,200, so I like playing Dak doubles with CD, and you can go Tony Pollard, you could go Gallup, you could go Schultz. There's a number of ways that you could take that, and CeeDee Lamb is going to be one of the highest owned wide receivers on the slate. So definitely love that. But other than that, I mean, I have a bet against Justin Fields tomorrow on his passing yards, so I'm not too interested in Fields down his top 2 pass catchers against the best secondary in the NFL. But like I said, I do have a bet against them. I'll pull it up on the screen. You can see right here. I have a bet against them on underdog for 500. Him and Goff under. Right here.
I got that Goff under with you.
Yeah, I mean, that was an egregious line.
Yeah, I mean, just because it was so egregious, he's definitely throwing for 253. But
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's anybody that sells, it's Justin Fields has a fucking legacy game and throws for 250 and 2 against the best fucking secondary in the NFL this year.
Yep. Cole Kmet 100-yard game incoming.
I could see it right now, but we got to be positive.
Yeah, no.
We
Everything is going to
positive.
hit, and we're going to make so much money tomorrow. But let's transition to running back here. How about that?
All right.
So at the running back position again, and this is why I was talking about playing Justin Herbert and cash. Like, we're not saving salary. Like, all of the guys that you're going to be considering in cash games are, right in that higher end 6K range and above. I think that the standout plays are Kamara, Connor, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. And that's probably where the vast majority of cash game players are going to be is sort of in that price range for running back this week in cash. I mean, Alvin Kamara, he's kind of the tough one because he's been on such a terrible stretch of games lately. He has like one monster fantasy game back in week 8 against the Raiders. And other than that, I mean, since then, he hasn't gone over 15 points. I said week 8. Since week 8, Alvin Kamara hasn't gone over 15 points. Just let that sink in. It's crazy to think about. But this spot sets up really well at home against the Falcons. It's a great matchup. They have a pretty good team total, 24 points, higher than you typically expect for the Saints to be at. It's Desmond Ritter's first spot. It's a spot where the Saints could control the ball. Mark Ingram is out. Everything is setting up really well for Alvin Kamara. I think that he is a really, really strong play, and I feel pretty confident in him this week, despite the recent lack of production.
Yeah, I mean, this spot just sets up really well. Like you said, no Mark Ingram out. I mean, they have David Johnson and some other dust balls in at running back behind Kamara, and the pass catching upside is obviously extremely high. And this should be a spot where the Saints should be able to, win and control the ball. And they haven't had a ton of those games this year where they've been able to do that. So Kamara, I think, is in line for the most opportunity that he's seen in well over a month. And he's obviously a very talented player. So don't mind him. I think the conversation for cash is, are you playing both Kamara and James Conner?
Yeah, so I do think that you do. The thing with James Conner is that his role is just so elite right now. He literally is not going to leave the field under any scenario. It's tough because on the surface, we're talking about a road running back going into a tough game environment with Colt McCoy at quarterback, backup quarterback, Kyler's out, scoring expectation extremely low. Arizona Cardinals have the second lowest team total on the slate, only ahead of the Cardinals, 17.5 points. But I think that just based off of workload, he should get there. I mean, look at his last 4 games. You can see it on the screen. He's gone over 20 in 3 out of the last 4. His dud game was 13. Like, the floor is so high with James Conner. I think that you definitely play him in cash, and he's not a bad play by any stretch, but I think in tournaments, it makes a lot of sense to try and access some more ceiling at the running back position. I know that we've tried to be cognizant this year of, like, if we're saying that somebody's a good cash play and a bad tournament player, are they really that good of a cash play? I think with this specific scenario, because of the floor, James Conner is a very good cash play, but at high ownership and limited ceiling because of game environment and offensive environment, I'd be very willing to get off of him in tournaments, a lot more willing than I would be to fade Kamara. I think Kamara's much better chalk to play into in tournaments than James Conner is.
Yeah, I totally agree, just with all of, like, the team concerns and the game environment concerns behind James Conner, but the role is obviously so good, playing pretty much every single snap for this Cardinals team right now. Pass catching upside, I think, is higher with Colt McCoy in at quarterback and not Kyler. You obviously take away the threat of a rushing quarterback, vulturing some rushing attempts and rushing touchdowns as well. So I think James Conner is a very good play. I think Kamara is a very good play. And realistically, you could just stay in this range for cash. You're probably playing both Kamara and James Conner. I guess the question is, are you playing 3 running backs? And if you're playing 3, are you playing 3 top tier running backs? Are you playing Kamara, James Conner, and then like one of Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, or Austin Eckler? Or are you trying to find a value running back for a little bit cheaper in, let's say, Pacheco or Latavius Murray or Bam Knight or somebody in this range.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll say right now, I think that Bam Knight and Latavius Murray are both bad plays. I'm very comfortable getting off of them entirely. I don't think I'll play them at all tomorrow. I think they're bad chalk. So at ownership, no need to go there in tournaments. Lions have literally over this last stretch of game been one of the best run defenses in the league. I don't think it's a good spot for Zonovan Knight here. So I'd be comfortable getting off of that. I mean, Latavius Murray, bro, come on. I mean, he's absolutely chalked. I'm not playing him. I would be, I guess, semi-interested in Pacheco. Spot sets up incredible. They're 2 touchdown favorites against the Houston Texans. I could see the merit in going there. I don't think it's bad. I would definitely consider it. In terms of the high price guys, I think that it's a priority to play Jamar Chase this week. So I don't think that I'm playing, both of the 6K running backs, Henry and Chase. So I think that I would be more likely to play Chase. When it comes to the other running back spot, though, it's this Patriots situation that really is going to shake things up. Obviously, we're still waiting on the news. Damian Harris ruled out. Ramondre Stevenson missed practice on Wednesday and Thursday, returned limited on Friday. You're the Patriots guy. You have a read on what's going on with this team. If Ramondre was out, Pierre Strong at 4K would be an all-time slam dunk smash play. I don't know if we'll have this news. Obviously, it's a 4 p.m. game, so we may or may not get this. Obviously, we'll be, eyes peeled on Adam Schefter's Twitter tonight. But, what is your read? Do you think Ramondre plays? And if he sits, would you be playing Pierre Strong in cash?
Yeah, so if Ramondre sits, you have to play Pierre Strong in cash. He'll have the pass-catching role, even if he splits base work with Kevin Harris, which I would assume that they do split base work. Pierre Strong is the better pass catcher, and the Patriots running back, specifically Ramondre Stevenson, has had one of the best pass catching roles in the entire NFL this year. 20+% target share, leading or top 5 in the NFL in running back catches, running back targets, etc. So if Pierre Strong has that role plus some base work, he's just a total smash at 4K. And personally, I think Ramondre is going to be out. He didn't practice on Wednesday or Thursday. Practiced limited on Friday. But the thing is with Ramondre is he's a dog. So when you're talking about a player that has that dog mentality, I could easily see him being active for this game, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, Philly in the chat makes a good point. New England did not elevate a running back from the practice squad, which is a promising sign for Ramondre, a tedious sign for Pierre Strong hopefuls. Yeah, I don't know. The situation I could definitely see going either way, but if you look at it in the context of the Patriots season, this is like a must-win game for them if they still have playoff aspirations, which you have to think they do with Bill Belichick as head coach. So I don't know, man. You're saying that you're leaning towards him not playing. I hope that's the case because the lineup that I have right now that I feel like is perfect for cash has 4K sitting at flex, just waiting for Pierre Strong to get slid right in there. But I just don't know if it's going to come to fruition.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he plays. And not, obviously, if Ramondre plays, I don't think you can play him just with the injury concerns. But we're also of the thinking if he's out there ready to go, he should be good. And his role will probably still be good, but they should still mix in those guys a little bit more. So
the thing is the Patriots sometimes have JJ Taylor active regardless. So they may not the practice squad thing may not be a clear indication because they could have Pierre Strong, Harris, and JJ Taylor active regardless of Ramondre's status. So they with 3 backs, they wouldn't need to necessarily elevate anybody anyway. So, still definitely a TBD situation. If you guys, want to get a little bit of extra insight on this, make sure you join the Discord. You can find the link to that in the description to this video. And we'll be talking through this stuff in the morning as well as things become more clear, hopefully prior to 1 p.m. lock with Ramondre. That's it for cash consideration, right?
Yeah, there's nobody else I would consider.
In tournaments, there are 2 pivots I think off of the mid-range, specifically off of James Conner, that I think are really strong in his price range. One, for $200 more, you can get up to Tony Pollard. I mean, Tony Pollard has been locked and loaded, one of the best fantasy producers over the last like 5 weeks. He has 4 out of his last 5 games over 20 points. He has an incredible ceiling, 2 30-point games in that stretch as well. We just saw Derrick Henry absolutely run through this Jacksonville defense last week. He got scripted out in the second half. I don't think that happens to Dallas at all. So, I mean, Tony Pollard in what could be a competitive game with Jacksonville at low ownership. I mean, the projection I'm looking at has Pollard under 5%. If you're telling me I could pay 200 more to get an exponentially higher ceiling, more talented player in Pollard over Connor in tournaments, I'm going to be making that play at a very heavy clip.
Yeah, I think this whole game is a very good tournament game.
Yeah.
Really the only player that's going to be, kind of chalky is CeeDee Lamb tomorrow in this game. So I like targeting contrarian pieces from the Cowboy side. The Jags are going to be pretty contrarian themselves. So Pollard 7,100, definitely a good pivot off of the Connor Kamara tier. Sanders is in a good spot as well. You called Sanders last week.
Yeah, that's who I was going to say is the other pivot. I mean, going right back to him, like he won't be 5% like he was last week, but he's going to be well below ownership on these other guys, and it's a great spot. So
yeah, and then I think Pacheco is interesting as well, 5.9. I mean, just an absolute smash spot for this Kansas City offense on the ground, and Pacheco has seen the opportunity. Really hasn't put up, great box score games. I mean, 12 to 16 points is solid, especially as a mid 5K running back. But if we can get over 20 plus in this spot, I mean, the touchdown upside obviously extremely high. He does have a little bit of upside in the passing game, a little, obviously not great, but
well, I mean, if the math checks out, 1 catches, 2 catches, 3 catches, so he'll get 4 catches tomorrow, right? That's how it works.
4 catches, 15 attempts, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But Isaiah Pacheco is a very good play, and I'm definitely going to have exposure to Pacheco in tournaments for sure.
Yeah, Pacheco's ownership to me looks lower than I thought it would be. I mean, I'm surprised to see guys like Latavius Murray and Zonovan Knight coming in with higher ownership projections than him. I mean, if that's the case, I think Pacheco's probably my favorite sub 6K running back, save Pierre Strong news.
Yeah, so that's my call. Running back Pacheco, tournament winner. Other than that, there's really not too many cheap running backs I'd be interested in. I mean, we said Bam Knight and Latavius are going to be chalk. I think you fade them. I guess the other pivots for me would be Dare or Rex. They're $100 within each other. Dare is probably the pass catching back, but I just have a feeling that they're just going to play Rex Burkhead a ton. But it's a good spot for the Texans running backs, and if we get them in catch up mode, and whichever one is the pass catching back, they're going to get work, and they're cheap enough to where they get you 15 points, like you'll take it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I would throw the Bucks guys into that conversation as well. I mean, we're talking about running backs who, realistically are each going to get 6 to 7 targets per game, which is valuable on DraftKings. I think the ceiling is capped because of, each one cannibalizing the other. But, if we're talking about like Rex Burkhead and Dare, I think we can throw Rachaad White and Leonard Fournette in that same conversation as well.
Yeah, I don't mind those guys at all.
I would probably only play them as correlated pieces if I'm trying to get some Bengal stuff off, to be honest. I don't think I'm wanting like one-offing Rachaad or Fournette, but
no.
Let's move on to the wide receiver position here, Joey. It looks like the highest owned wide receiver on the slate is going to be catching passes from Davis Mills and or Jeff Driscoll. What could go wrong with chasing Chris Moore's career game?
I mean, a lot can go wrong, obviously. The Chiefs are not good on defense. That is the main thing with Chris Moore, and Nico Collins and Brandon Cooks are also out, which obviously helps the target share, and obviously very negative game script incoming for the the Texans. So Chris Moore, I mean, should get work. Are we going to probably get a 20-plus point game? No, but I think he has a pretty good chance to get 10 to 15 points tomorrow for sure.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
I agree with that.
if he gets 8 to 10 targets, which I think is likely, like he's probably the best wide receiver that they have available out of Dorsett, Amari Rogers, the tight ends like Akins, and then you got the running backs and Rex and Dare. Like Chris Moore's the best option. Obviously not sexy. Price increase from last week, 4,200. I think he probably finishes with 10 to 15 points, and you'll take that at 4,200.
Yeah, no, I think you play him in cash. I mean, there couldn't be an easier fade in tournaments if you drew one up. I don't think, like, I'm definitely not chasing another 20 ball out of Chris Moore. Do you think that there's any, like, upside, I guess, in trying to pivot to one of the other Texans wide receivers in tournaments? It would be the same thesis of the play, just, hoping that things shift in a different direction, target share wise to, Dorsett or Amari Rogers. You're saving 1,000 by going down to them. Dorsett, I think 3,300 and Amari 32, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I think Amari Rogers, as we see, like 16 points. Nobody's talking about him as a pivot for 1,000 less. I guess that's interesting, but it's still disgusting.
I think I would rather play the Patriots guys in that price range.
Yeah, I definitely prefer like Bourne and Thornton and Aguilar to these cheap Texans players, especially when that Patriots-Raiders game is projecting to be like a very good tournament game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Nelson Aguilar is an interesting point right now. The projections have been fluctuating with him throughout the week. At one point, he looked like he was going to be the greatest play DraftKings had ever seen. Now he's projecting like pretty poorly. But at the same time, I mean, even if Jacoby does play, Devontae Parker's out. Aguilar will be an every snap player. He saw 10 targets last week, 3,400. Price tag is good. Matchup is good. The thing is like his ownership projection hasn't really changed despite the point projection coming down. Like, I don't actually think that he's going to be like a top 5 owned wide receiver on the slate. Do you?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, can you still go there in tournaments? I don't think we're talking about him in cash at this point, but I mean, in tournaments, I feel like both him and Bourne are still solid pivots off of like Chris Moore if you're trying to save salary.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Aguilar now is probably a good tournament play. With the ownership decreasing if Jacoby's in, I think Jacoby will be a good play as well. Jacoby, 4,700, like that's cheap if he's in, but he's still questionable. But expected to play. So I think these Patriots wide receivers, I think the 3 wide receiver set's probably going to be Jacoby, Nelson, and then Tyquan Thornton. Even though I think it should be Bourne, but I think it's going to be Thornton and Aguilar on the outside, Jacoby in the slot. So that I think all of the Patriots wide receivers are good, honestly.
All right.
They're cheap.
So yeah, no, agree with that. That's more of a conversation as far as tournaments go. I just wanted your take on that when we were in that price range. Going back to cash games, though, outside of Chris Moore, I think right in that same tier of like terms of popularity, right there will be Keenan Allen at 6,800. I mean, he's seen back-to-back 14 targets games. He gets the pass funnel matchup we already talked about here. I think the floor is just extremely high with Keenan Allen, and he's a great play this week at 6,800.
Yeah, I mean, as we see on the screen, back-to-back games with 14 targets going up against the number 1 pass funnel in the NFL against the Titans defense that has nobody, and they're at home, and they're one of the most pass-heaviest teams in the NFL. Keenan Allen, obviously a very good play. Mike Williams is a good play. Think the field's going to prefer Keenan there, so he's going to be a little bit more chalky, but Keenan 6,800 still underpriced if he gets 10 plus targets.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And for what it's worth, man, I think Mike Williams is one of the best tournament plays on the slate, coming in under 10% owned. Mike Williams does one of 2 things this year. He either scores over 20 points on DraftKings or he scores under 10. He's not getting you anything between the range of, 10.0 points and 19.9. He's either going over 20 or he's getting you under 10. Sets up really well for tournaments. I don't think you go there in cash. Just, the safety of Keenan is much better, but Mike Will is the one player in this offense who can win contested catches. He can make big plays down the field. And I think that you absolutely have to consider going there in tournaments, especially if you're playing Herbert stuff. So Chris Moore, Keenan Allen, two guys that we feel really good about in cash games. I also love Jamar Chase this week, man. I mean, things have changed with him slightly. Tyler Boyd looks like he's going to make it back. He got in a full practice on Friday. T. Higgins should be good in this game. I mean, God willing, I know he was supposed to be good last week, but whatever the hell happened with him. Regardless, though, Jamar Chase is the alpha in this offense. Target share is unreal. He's seen double-digit targets in 5 out of his last 7 games. He's one of the most talented receivers on the slate. I just don't see a situation where he fails you in this spot. Maybe he doesn't hit a ceiling game. Maybe he doesn't get you 30 points for the 4th time in his last 5 games. But there's just no scenario, I think, where Jamar Chase comes in and busts. He's so safe and so talented, and the access to ceiling is as good as any player in the league.
Yeah, and then, I mean, if the Bucks can actually put up points in this spot at home, with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and a full complement of weapons, like God forbid,
even Julio's back. Julio.
If they could put up some points, like the game could be kind of interesting. Jamar Chase's role is obviously one of the best in the NFL. T. Higgins potentially could be out. Like they it's not a guarantee that he's going to play. Tyler Boyd is going to play. T. Higgins could still be out.
Yep.
If T's out, Jamar Chase is a mega smash. If T's in, he's still a very, very good play, and he's going to be one of the highest owned players on the slate. So, Jamar Chase, I mean, what else needs to be said?
Yeah. So to me, Jamar Chase is the preferred pay up option. He's the guy that I'm prioritizing getting up to in cash games. I think that two guys who are on the fringe that are right in that conversation, but I prefer a little bit less to Jamar Chase, are Amon-Ra St. Brown and CeeDee Lamb. I'll let you talk about CeeDee Lamb. I think that you've got some more definitive takes on him than I do. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I mean, outdoors, Jared Goff, small hands, cold weather, elite defense in the Jets. Target share should still be immaculate. I think he gets 10 plus targets in this game, but I prefer the ceiling of Jamar Chase. I think they're close enough in price and the game environment is better that I would rather just find that 500. But, Amon-Ra St. Brown, you'll never catch me saying anything bad about him. So ASB, CeeDee Lamb, what are your thoughts on these two guys in terms of cash games and just in general as plays?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a little bit lower on the Lions stuff this week just because, they're traveling on the road in an open stadium for like the 3rd or 4th time this season. They actually run really good with like playing in domes pretty much in every single game, no matter if they're at home or on the road.
Well, yeah, I mean, they get half the season, then they get two games against the Vikings every year. That's literally 10 out of 18. So.
And then majority of the NFC teams, or at least like half of the NFC teams, all have domes.
Yeah.
So they run pretty good in that aspect, but just a function of the conference and them also having a dome, obviously. But when Jared Goff goes on the road as the Lions starting quarterback in an open stadium, I guess in a cold weather stadium, is what I would quantify it as, he does not perform well at all. That's why I bet his under 252.5 passing yards on Underdog when that line dropped. I put in the Discord, everything. I hope everybody got that. I know, Ben, you said you took that.
I did.
That's going to hit. Like,
yeah.
The Jets defense, they've only given up one game to opposing quarterbacks with over 250 yards, and that was to Joe Burrow in week 3, and they gave up 261 yards at home against this Lions offense, Jared Goff. I mean, I think this is just a very down spot for this Lions team. And I mean, if anybody listened to the pod, I said this was before I knew Zach Wilson was starting, so it changed. But I said that the Jets -1 was the lock of the slate, but I thought Mike White would be starting. But
what did that line move to? I mean, I'll look it up right now.
it moved to Lions minus like 2.5.
Yeah.
So
I mean, on DraftKings, it's still Jets -1, which is interesting.
yeah,
I mean,
think
I
it
kind of
moved back.
like the Lions now.
I think it moved to the Lions and then it moved back to the Jets. So I think there's some sharp money coming in on the Jets there still, even with Zach Wilson, because I do think it is a down spot for the Lions. So I do prefer CeeDee Lamb there. CeeDee Lamb, I mean, he's just been one of the best target share receivers in the NFL. Upside is obviously extremely high, coming off of a down game last week against Houston. I think this is just a get right spot for the Cowboys offense in general. Dak played one of his worst games of the entire season last week against Houston, and this also has shootout potential with Trevor Lawrence playing very good football right now. So CeeDee Lamb, 7,300. I took his over 67.5 yards on Prize Picks. I have him in, a playoff game. So I'm expecting a big game out of CD. And if he doesn't, I'm just going to be fucking drowning in my own piss. So
yeah, no, I mean, I think CD comes out and performs well. I definitely think he has a really high floor in this spot. You talked a lot about how you are interested in the way that the projections are making this Raiders New England game look. How do you feel about paying up to Devontae to be contrarian in tournaments? $9K, obviously an extremely hefty price tag. And I think you look at guys like Jamar Chase, you can save 700. You have same access to a ceiling. AJ Brown, ASB, CD, DeAndre Hopkins as well. You're paying up a lot for Adams, but I mean, God, he's been on such a tear. As you can see on the screen, or as you could see for a second there, he has 4 30-plus point games in his last 6, including a 40 spot. Like, just unreal production from Devontae Adams here. I know the Patriots have been good, but you've tweeted and talked about how, when it comes down to it, when they're facing stud players, absolute all-star type players, they can get beat. And I mean, yeah. Devontae Adams is the stone cold definition.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If anybody's sweating, Tyreek Hill just scored a 20-yard touchdown. The Dolphins are winning.
Okay. That's good for my best ball Dolphins doubles.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill burned the outside corner. Dolphins are up 25-21. I mean, I'm a little behind for sure, so they probably make the extra point. But, yeah. Tyreek Hill touchdown. But Devontae Adams, yeah. The Patriots secondary is good, but not great. And if the Raiders get back Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow for this game, it's not confirmed whether they're going to be back or out at this point. If they get those guys back, like, that's just more people to worry about. And Devontae Adams,
Renfrow will play. I didn't check Waller's status. Actually they are, I think, both confirmed to be playing.
Okay, yeah,
which is interesting.
I mean, that just opens up more for Devontae Adams, in my opinion.
I think so as well.
And he has the ability to break any given slate, and the target share is obviously extremely high. So Devontae, definitely a nice pay up to be contrarian spot there. Bob, y'all play any video games?
Of
course.
Yeah, I mean, scaled back a lot lately. It's hard to have the time during the football season, literally grinding content and grinding work all the time. I'm kind of sad at how little I've been able to play Warzone 2 because, Joey and I both were so into Warzone 1. We played literally. I mean, when the pandemic hit, that shit was a full-time job. I was playing Warzone more than 8 hours a day, but dead ass. But, it definitely scaled back. It's hard to play a lot during the football season. I'll try and get some games in, in a couple of weeks here as things start to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard to have a bunch of time for video games when you get older, and obviously you have different priorities, and if you're in a relationship, there's just not enough time in the day. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big video game guy, especially growing up. But Warzone, COD specifically recently, Warzone 2, I mean, that shit is dog water. That's also a reason why we haven't been playing.
True.
So yeah, Warzone 2. Warzone pretty much when it was Warzone and Warzone 2. I don't have a console, neither does Ben. I
have PS4.
Oh, you have,
yeah.
I I sold mine. So
the last games that I played, like besides Warzone, I mean Warzone's the only multiplayer game I've been playing like at all over the last 2 years. I played like the Spider-Man game when it was out, when it was new on PS4. I love the Last of Us series on PS4, but I mean that's really it.
yeah.
Waddle to the locker room. That's
Yeah.
probably not super fortunate.
Not at all. That is pain. But let's get some fucking Gabe Davis and James Cook yards for the vibes.
Yeah, man. Has Josh Allen rushed at all? God.
I don't think so. But I got this slip that I'm staring at right now with Donovan Mitchell under. He's at 3. That game's still going though. Raheem Mostert over. He smashed that in the first quarter.
Free.
Mike Gesicki under. I'm pretty sure Mike Gesicki's hurt. I don't think he's been in the game ever since he got that catch. And then I have James Cook rushing and receiving yards and Gabe Davis over 35.5 yards. And Gabe Davis has 1 fucking catch.
Need Allen to get 12 more yards for the parlay, man. I hope that hits for you, brother.
Well, the Bills are down now, though, so that should be wheels up.
Yeah, that should be good. I mean, I need 9 more rushing yards out of Josh Allen to cash a slip on Prize Picks, so let's fucking get it. Let's fucking get it on this next Bills drive. All right.
9 more rushing, you said?
I need 9 more rushing because they put out Prize Picks has been doing like promotions all day, and they lowered his line to 38.5. So he's at 30 right now.
I need some James Cook yards. Let's get it. All right. Back to the slate.
Big drive. Back to the slate. Let's see. What else are we? I mean, in terms of cash, I don't know. Is there anybody else that you're considering? I've got a really tight pool for cash games. I think that tournaments you can get off the board and get interesting, but like I'm probably playing more Keenan and Chase, and like that's it.
Yeah. I think. I don't think wide receiver is too interesting this week, to be honest. I mean, Garrett Wilson was obviously a mega smash. I think we have to talk about Wilson.
Yeah, we should talk. I mean, Wilson and Elijah Moore were both projecting really well with Mike White, and I think the spot remains good. I mean, the question is, do you think that Zach Wilson, I mean, he's playing for his job now. He's probably playing for his future in New York. Like, logistically, if he comes out and does poorly in this spot, I think they go right back to Mike White when he's healthy. They might go back to Mike White regardless, but pressure is on. This is like Zach Wilson do or die time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if there was ever a spot for him to actually do well and succeed in, it's here against a pass funnel Detroit defense at home. I think things could get really ugly here. I could see a spot where, like, if the Jets get down early, you know, the Lions defense plays a little well. Aiden Hutchinson in there playing incredible football right now. Could see some boos raining down at home for Zach Wilson. It could just be an utter disaster spot for the Jets offense. I don't know. How do you feel about these guys with Zach Wilson throwing the ball?
I mean, it's tough because, I mean, Zach Wilson, like you said, he has a lot to play for, right? Like, this is his future, like, in the NFL type shit. And he's finally getting a chance. And the spot is as good as any for Zach Wilson to come out and ball out. And I honestly think, like, Garrett Wilson is kind of quarterback proof as long as he gets the targets. And 6K is still too cheap. So I think if the ownership is...
What?
Oh, nah. Oh, my bad. Just...
Something going on in the Bills game there. Joey's got us on the edge of our fucking seats now.
I took Isaiah McKenzie under, and he caught a deep pass. They ruled it incomplete, but he might have caught it.
I'm
but the ball moves, so I think it's incomplete.
Jared says that's a catch, but he's also pulling hard for Josh Allen yards right now. Y'all are both looking at this through bias eyes. You want it to be an incompletion. You said it hit the ground. He's like, that's a catch.
It moved when it hit the ground.
I don't even know.
He might be ahead though. They challenged it. It's probably a catch because I can't run good at all. So
it hasn't been ruled on DK yet. They haven't given him the credit.
They ruled it. The replay confirms incomplete. I mean, the ball definitely moved. I mean, we're sitting here we're supposed to be talking about this slate. I'm looking at the fucking play. The ball definitely moves. Like, if Hunter Henry's fucking touchdown that they took away wasn't a catch, that's not a catch. If that's a catch, that's fucking bullshit. But all right. I think Garrett Wilson is a good tournament play. But he's still projected to be a top 5 owned wide receiver on the slate. So
I don't buy that.
You think that's going to come down?
I think that comes down. I don't think that he'll be like under 10, but I think he's closer to 10 than he is to 20, which is like where he's at right now.
Yeah, you're fucking telling me, Bob. That shit costing me 4 fucking bands, bruh. What do you guys think of a Yeti Kamara Pacheco touchdown?
Who's Yeti?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Who's Yeti is? I'm thinking like a snowman. Yeti. I'm thinking. I've never heard that name.
They can't keep getting bro. The refs and the refs in the Vikings game were some of the worst refs I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, no, like, that was chalked.
They hired those motherfuckers off the street today, bro. Like, why are you blowing the whistle so quick? Like, let the play develop. And they took the fucking. Oh,
you said Yeti. I mean, call him by his fucking God-given name, the big dog. But to answer your question, yeah, I mean, I think a big dog, Kamara and Pacheco touchdown parlay is pretty good, actually. What are the odds on that? Let me know. I might tell you.
Ruling on the field stands. It's incomplete.
Word.
Thank God. All right. So you think the ownership's going to be a little bit lower? I probably agree. But I think the ceiling is definitely lower. I don't know. It's an interesting situation for sure. Other than that, there's really not too much like in this 5K range that I love.
Yeah, no, I think that you stay away from that range. I think that you're going to find a tournament winner in the 6Ks though. I think that there's several guys in that 6K range that it could be. I already mentioned Mike Williams. I like him a lot. Talked on the podcast about Mike Evans, and I stand by that call early in the week. Like, something's got to give with Mike Evans. He's had like a 60-yard touchdown called off the board last week. He had a 60-yard clear-cut touchdown that he dropped early in the year when we were on him in tournaments. Like, like Bob said, they can't keep getting away with this. Mike Evans needs to fucking get his. And I think that eventually it's going to come. So I like Evans at 6,200. Price is just too cheap for him. And then 2 other guys for tournaments that I'll be mixing in. Devontae Smith, he's had 8+ targets in 5 straight games. Good matchup for him. Low owned piece you can correlate with Jalen Hurts. I think that's pretty solid. And Chris Olave as well is starting to shape up, in my opinion, as one of the best leverage plays on the slate with how well Alvin Kamara is projecting and how much ownership he'll have. Chris Olave will be like second, third tier chalk. Like, he'll be owned, but he won't be nearly as owned as Alvin Kamara. And I think that, he clearly has a big ceiling. It's a great matchup. Falcons get decimated by wide receivers. So he's one of my favorite tournament plays if you're rocking a non-Alvin Kamara lineup.
I definitely agree. His unders are juiced a little bit, which is interesting. And I think that's just a function of what I was talking about earlier. Like, this is a game where they'll be able to like actually control the ball and move the ball through the ground game against this Falcons team, especially with Desmond Ridder at quarterback for the Falcons. Like, this is just shaping up to be like a very good spot for a Kamara game, but Chris Olave can easily get there. His targets are pretty volatile. His catches are pretty volatile, but a very high ceiling player in Chris Olave. So I don't mind that. But I mean, CeeDee Lamb is so good this week, in my opinion. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams is very good. I don't know. Tournaments this week are kind of tough because like the good plays are going to be owned, and the leverage pivots I don't think are that good at the wide receiver position specifically. So I think you probably like just go Devontae Adams over Jamar Chase for 700 less, and then you play a cheap Patriots wide receiver. My call this week, Tyquan Thornton, just as a long shot, 3,200 I think he is. So that's my long shot play at wide receiver. But I think you're either paying down and then you're paying up. Like you're going stars and scrubs at wide receiver. You're just fading this entire like 5 to 6K range, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to kind of say I think one of the best ways to play tournaments this week is not to go stars and scrubs because everyone is going to do it. I mean, I think it's like the best projecting lineup that you can make. I'm definitely going to run a lineup like that in cash, but in tournaments, I think if you just like sort of stay away from like the top end, you can jam a lot of ceiling into your lineup with guys like Olave, Smith, Williams, Evans if you just play a bunch of 6K wide receivers. But that's about it, I think, for guys that I'm interested in at wide receiver. If you want to switch over to tight end here, I mean, it looks like we're running it back with Chig. I mean, I played Chig over Dulcich last week in cash. Shout out to me, hashtag sharp. He caught 6 of 6 for 45 and a touchdown. Also got a 2-point conversion. He looks like he's going to be the highest owned tight end this week at 3,100, and I think he's a great play. I mean, Chargers give up, what is it? Are they not a tight end funnel? I thought they were. I mean, they're middle of the pack, but yeah, I mean, regardless, I like Chig. They don't have Treylon Burks still. Like they're gonna feed him ways. He's one of their only like explosive pass catchers right now.
Yeah, I mean they're just going to have to play Chig, a little bit. Obviously, he's still behind Austin Hooper, which is frustrating. But at 3,100, Chig's upside and talent is so good, and the game environment is one of the best on the slate. So Chig at 3,100 definitely stands out to me. Dulcich at 3,600 was going to be the chalk, but then Russ gets ruled out. They have Brett Ripien in at quarterback. Obviously, the projection gets dinged a little bit, but he's still going to be one of the highest owned tight ends in the best possible matchup. I still think it's a good spot. Whether he's catching passes from Ripien or Russ, I don't think it really matters, to be honest. So those are the two best tight end plays on this slate. And those are the cash game tight ends. In terms of tournament pivots, who are you interested in for tournaments?
Well, I will say that Kelsey has a huge ownership projection on him, which is interesting. I mean, he's obviously priced up at 7,800. I think that, it's pretty obvious why that would be. It's because Patrick Mahomes is going to be so popular, so highly owned, and he's the only guy that anybody feels, trusting in terms of stacking. So I think there will be a lot of Mahomes to Kelsey stuff out there. If you're not playing that, the pivots that I like, I mean, Gerald Everett, 100%. Like, we just saw Evan Ingram have the greatest game of his career against the same team. I love Everett. I mean, he doesn't need to do too much at 4,300. Like, he's been getting targets, even with everybody healthy last week, had 8 targets. Matchup is immaculate. I love pairing Everett as a low-owned piece to Herbert stuff to make that a little bit more easy to stomach in terms of ownership. And then the other two guys that I would throw out there that I will play in tournaments, Cole Kmet, 4K. Not really getting a discount on him this week, but he's literally like the only competent pass catcher that the Bears have. And the Eagles play defense in a way that pushes stuff towards the middle of the field. So I think that he makes a lot of sense. He's had big ceiling games at different points this year. You see on the screen 2 back-to-back 20-point games against Miami and Detroit. I think he could have another here. And lastly, Hunter Henry, man, 3,300. Like, a lot of people are going to be playing the dust ball Patriots wide receivers, but if targets are consolidating in this offense, I don't see why Henry couldn't be the guy. He had 70 yards last year, last week, made a big catch. He had the big game against Minnesota, 15.3 points. It should have been another touchdown on top of that. So Henry to me is pretty interesting at 3,300 for tournaments as well.
Yeah, I mean, might as well fade the dust ball Patriots wide receivers for the dust ball tight end.
Exactly.
Bro,
you got to let it go. This is your chance to get it all back on Hunter Henry. He burned you. It wasn't his fault. All right. It was the refs.
He didn't even burn me though. That's the thing. He got 15.3, like his second best game of the year. I was on it.
Yeah.
Fucking damn near min price, 600 above min price. I have no ill will against Hunter Henry. It wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault.
Like, I had the right read. Like, I knew it was a very good spot for Mac Jones and the Patriots passing attack. I was all over it. Just hurts, just fucking hurts.
It does.
How you just feels like I can't run good. I don't know why.
Jared in the chat says, with Conklin, is he worth a look with Wilson back? I mean, Conklin was like looking like one of the best plays on the slate, I think, with Mike White at quarterback. I just think the entire offense takes a big step back, but I think Conklin's okay. I mean, ownership is going to come down on him a bit. He's fine at 3,100. I would definitely consider playing Conklin in tournaments.
Yeah, I don't mind Conklin. These cheap tight ends are pretty interesting, to be honest. I like the pivots of Hunter Henry, Conklin, Evan Ingram, 3,800. I mean, nobody's going to play Evan Ingram. That kind of feels chasey, though. I'm probably only going to play Kelsey in like a lineup or two if I do play, because it's rigged. I mean, if the NFL is rigged, then I'm just on the wrong side of everything.
Swear to God.
I don't understand sometimes. I don't know what I did to I want a couple fans of 80 didn't fake an injury last night. 80 is the softest NBA player in the entire league.
No comment. I don't know anything about the dude.
And Josh Allen, sack, fumble, Dolphins recover. Did you just see that?
Great. I'm like a play behind you.
Yeah, sack, fumble on 1st and 10. Oh, God.
Is Waddle out?
He's in the locker room. But the Dolphins are coming on the field, so we'll see if Waddle comes out.
I would really like to see Waddle do one more just for the best ball teams. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I think that, Everett is definitely my favorite tournament play. Cole Kmet, one of my favorite tournament plays. And then the guys that you mentioned at the low end in terms of pivots off of Chig and Henry and Conklin. What about Dallas Goedert? Can you stomach that at 4,700? You're obviously paying up. The spot is good, right? 4,700. It'll be his first game back in quite some time. But, oh, wait, they didn't activate him? I'm sorry, I misread that. I'm going off on a rant like he's going to play. I thought I read earlier that he was playing. Never mind.
Waddle's back out there.
Never mind. Okay, good fucking shit.
Yeah, Waddle's on the field, so you're
all
good.
Right. Good. Yo, okay, yeah. So disregard that whole Goddard.
Spiel. But yeah, Goddard's out. I mean, Everett definitely a good tight end pivot. Hunter Henry, Kyler Conklin are all good, in my opinion. I think that's pretty much it for me. We'll have to see if Juwan Johnson plays, though. Juwan Johnson, prior to injury, was one of the best fantasy tight ends in the league. He's been out for a while with an ankle problem, but if he's good to go, it's a good spot against the Falcons. That'd be a nice leverage piece off Kamara as well.
Yep, totally agree with that. Like the Juwan Johnson call. Anybody else that we need to touch on here? I feel like we've talked about everybody that I'll be playing on DraftKings tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. If anybody has any questions.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Ask a question.
You've been talking about the Dallas stuff for tournaments. Who is your Jags bring back of choice? Travis Etienne is projecting for some ownership. Zay Jones will have a little bit as well. I think Christian Kirk will be the lowest owned of this group, if I'm not mistaken. 6,600. I think he has the highest ceiling. That's what my inclination is. But how do you think you would be playing stuff from the Jackson side of the ball if you're stacking up Dallas?
Yeah, I think that you probably bring it back with one of Christian Kirk or Zay Jones. Not really too into ETN, but he is cheap. He's 6K. Should see opportunity. So I don't mind that. But Christian Kirk or Zay Jones would be my preferred bring back. Christian Kirk, 6,600. Zay Jones is still under 5K. He's 4,900. So that's a nice cheap pivot there if you're looking for a cheap wide receiver.
Okay. Anybody else in the chat have any questions that we can answer before we get on out of here?
Or any bets that you're sweating?
Yeah, bets that you're sweating. Bop asked how many best ball teams y'all had advancing. I mean, honestly, I got completely chalked on underdog, but I also barely played. Like I had almost all of my volume on drafters and on DraftKings. So, you know, drafters not going to bank anything this year, but have some teams like should be able to make, you know, a decent amount of the money back. We'll see how that goes over this next stretch. DraftKings, I had 24 out of 80 teams advance in the $5. So, I mean, good advancement rate there. Right now, I've got 6 advancing to round 2. Hopefully that holds. I would definitely take that. And yeah. Can you go over ownership quickly? Sure. Quarterback position, it'll be Mahomes, Hurts, and Justin Herbert at the top. At the running back position, Connor, Kamara, who else at running back? Running back, Henry, Josh Jacobs, and then guys like Eckler, Zonovan Knight, Isaiah Pacheco, Latavius Murray, sort of a second tier chalk. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Chris Moore, Keenan Allen, and then some cheap Patriots guys. Aguilar looks like he'll be owned. Garrett Wilson will still have some ownership. Tight end, Chig. Chig will be the only one that you really have to worry about. Travis Kelce as well for tournaments. Not going there in cash, but Travis Kelce will be probably second or first. Let's see. You got Gabe still has not got that catch yet as we enter. So you need that. I mean,
I need 15 James Cook yards and 9 Gabe Davis receiving yards. Is this hit in chat? This is what I'm sweating right now. And I need McKenzie to not get 26.
I think, yeah. I mean, you might get there.
I mean, Gabe Davis hasn't had a catch in like a year, it feels like. And I'll be rooting for it. Thanks.
Let's hope.
I mean, 625 would be good. And then I got, this nice little, the 30X. I mean, Pittman, that was free.
Yeah. No, that was legit
Cook.
free.
And then, so kind of what I talked about, kind of the players that I'm high on. Pacheco, I like for tournaments. CeeDee Lamb, I like for tournaments. Then it's a good spot for the Chargers passing attack. But, I mean, clear cut, one of these dudes is not hitting their prop. So
at least you get 3x if you hit 5 on the this boosted flex play. So I mean, I would take that. But I mean, yeah, I also opted into that boosted flex play. Both of my props from today hit, so I'm right there with you, sweating 4 remaining. So, you know, God willing, we can get there and hit a 6-legger for once.
I mean, definitely, I feel like got it in good in terms of like odds and whatnot. And then I already pulled up on the screen on underdog, you know, you got to be playing both. You got to use both sides. You got to shot for the best line there. I have this going on underdog for 500 tomorrow. Just need Goff and Justin Fields. It's 3 out of 5 right now with Hurts over half a completion. If you're not on underdog, go sign up. They have this free prop. So that's a win, right? Unless, I mean, that'd be insane. But
yeah, no, it's you're sweating Fields for 500 the way I'm looking at it.
Cause I mean, Goff ain't hitting. He's not hitting.
Oh, I mean, didn't his line get bumped down to like 230 or something?
His line on underdog is 236.5. His line on Prize Picks is 230.5.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely got it in good. That's all you can hope for.
And Justin Fields also got bumped down as well.
Yes.
Why can't Josh Allen, why can't he fucking hand it off to James Cook, bro? You tell me that?
I don't know, dude. Why would he do that? You got to keep the ball in his hands.
Cook big gain? No way. Hold on. Should we stay on and sweat this game with the chat?
We could.
How long was this? Oh, let's go. Cook just hit. Bang!
Cook hit?
Cook hit.
I
think so, right? How long was that? Was that like I needed 15, I think. That looked like over 15. Tackle this fucker.
It was 16.
Bets. Josh Allen, 44-yard run.
Bang!
Bang!
Just cashed on Prize Picks. Let's fucking
cashed
go.
His OG line too.
That's lit.
All right. So right now I'm 5 of 6. I need 9 Gabe Davis. I'm gonna be that annoying guy. Are you guys old friends that just decided to do a podcast? Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, so what happened is I moved to this neighborhood where we live in our city, and Ben was already living there, or his mom was living there, I should say. And we were obviously near the same age, and there was a bunch of other like kids around our age too in the neighborhood. So we all just became friends that way. And I mean, fun fact, Ben wasn't even a football fan until like 6 years ago.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really didn't like football at all growing up.
Like because a couple of our other friends that we grew up with, like we were all the sports guys. Ben wasn't really like a sports guy growing up, but obviously got into it and it's done well.
Yeah,
I mean,
I got into it once like I was gambling age. Once I hit 18 and I could play on DraftKings and started playing some fantasy, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, no, we did grow up together, and then podcast like about 5 years ago or so, and
yeah, we were like, oh, I mean, we do this every day. We might as well just start talking about it, and we feel like we have an edge. So, I mean, Ben's won a couple tournaments on DraftKings and Drafters, so it's been good. But yeah, we were just like, fuck it, might as well.
Man, could we get a nice little tutty here? Get this thing
flag. Josh Allen knocked out of bounds. Late. Oh, they fighting. See, I would put the game on the screen, but we'd get fucking copyrighted, fucking strike on our channel
so fast.
And we're about to hit 1,000 subs soon, so
yeah,
we can't risk our monetization.
No, unfortunately. I mean, one day in the future we'll be able
Rudman is not natty. That's funny. Can't speak to that. I don't fucking know. My buddy and I always talk about starting one. We're always stoned or drunk, though, so we know nobody would watch us. Bro, the thing is you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that like we've made it by any stretch. Like we're obviously still in the grinding, period of this thing, but we've had Adam Levitan on the podcast. We've had Overzet on the podcast. We've won tournaments. I mean, I feel like we've made some noise out there in the streets.
I mean, people definitely know us.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
I would say. I mean,
the people
that Levitan and Evan Silva follow Ben on Twitter. Awesemo follows me and our podcast account, and other big DFS guys follow both of us and our podcast account. So, I mean, they definitely know us, and we started from nothing. Like, you got to make a name
legitimately, like just.
And
don't
we're
know
still
any
grinding,
of these guys in person.
Like we get like 15 to 30 live viewers every stream, but last year that was only like 7 to 10. Right? Like,
yep.
And we've been at like 15 to 20 on this stream, and there's football on.
Yeah.
So like this is pretty good for us, like with football on, to be honest.
YouTube subscribership doubled in the last, 2 months. 12
favorite
estimates.
GPP stacks.
For me, it's the Charger stuff, man. And I think that, like, even though it's going to be relatively chalky from the Herbert and Keenan perspective, Mike Will won't be too owned. Everett is not going to be owned at all. So you can play it in a pretty contrarian way. And, you've got Chig, Henry on the bring back. You could play Westbrook Akine as like a super contrarian wide receiver play. So that's definitely my favorite stack tomorrow, without a doubt, is that game and specifically the Chargers side.
Yeah. I definitely like the Chargers. My favorite GPP stack, I just like the Patriots Raiders game in general.
Mm-hmm. I like that too, man. I kind of see Adams
Dawson Knox touchdown.
Bang. Okay, wait, hang on, because I have that paired with
and it's starting to snow like crazy.
Did Zion do anything today?
When I looked, Zion had 12 points going into the fourth quarter.
Well, Zion has 25. So in the last
he hit
minute, I just cashed both of my prize picks. Let's fucking go. 2 2-leggers. Raheem Mostert and Josh Allen rushing. Zion points with fucking Dawson Knox / Devin Singletary anytime touchdown. Let's fucking
bang.
Go. Now,
maybe we just have to stay on stream and our bets will cash.
We might have to.
Need a Diggs catch in my parlay. Hey, man.
Hey.
The Bills are still losing and there's 9 minutes left.
Diggs is getting a catch. Gabe is getting a catch. McKenzie's getting nothing. And Joey, y'all are all.
I mean, if that happens,
we're all cashing right now.
I mean, Diggs dropped the touchdown. He dropped the touchdown before Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
But it is starting to snow, which is unfortunate. But I need.
I'm gonna play behind, so I don't see if they get this 2-point or not yet.
I haven't. They called the penalty.
All right. The real question. Let us know in the chat. Should we stay on for this next 9 minutes of game time action? Because I'm up for it. If you're up for it, it's just do the people want to sweat this with us? And
oh, did he get it? Uh-oh. Bruh, what am I witnessing? No, he got across, didn't he? There's no way he didn't.
Bro, yeah, he got across. No shot, right? Bro, what are we doing? Playing fucking ring around the rosy, kicking the shit halfway down the field?
Maybe he didn't get it.
That ass.
I don't think he got it. We're at commercial break. If you're just tuning in, I mean, make sure you subscribe to the channel first and foremost.
Please. Please do.
We're just sweating this game, but if you have any questions, hit us up in the chat.
All right, Big Joe. Hold the chat down for 60 seconds. If we're sweating this game, I need a fucking beer. Oh,
shit, you trying to grab me one?
Yeah, I got you.
I think my door's locked, though.
Is it? My door's
locked. Ben and I live in the same house, so. Sunday go-to snack: pizza rolls, wings, nachos, or other. Definitely pizza and wings for sure. Look at this.
Sup, gang?
Fucking commercial break.
All right, here we go. Chat. Sunday go-to snack. You already gave your answer on that?
Yeah, just pizza and wings. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would rank it wings, pizza, nachos, pizza rolls. Pizza is definitely better pre-roll.
Oh, they ruled it good. Tie game.
All right, tie game. Tie game. Well, my personal sweat for this game is over outside of best ball. So now I'm just rooting for you. Now I'm rooting for Gabe catch, and I'm rooting for Isaiah McKenzie to do absolutely fucking nothing. And we need a Diggs catch too for Jared in the chat.
Yeah, Diggs catch, a Gabe Davis catch of 9 yards, and no McKenzie. Is anybody sweating anything in the chat?
Wonder if that got me anything in DraftKings, actually. I might actually have some live lineups now.
All right. Oh, it's fucking snowing now, bruh.
Mm.
I mean, they should still be able to throw the ball, though. But
Hey, careful with that game in the background. Is that shit gonna get us banned? I mean, it's
No.
reversed. You got it on no sound. I mean,
no, we're good. We're good.
hey, I mean, I'm not banking anything, but I will take like the 3-man cashes I just got. Make some of this money back for tomorrow.
Need 9 Gabe Davis yards for potentially $625, chat.
You got anything sweating on the Dolphins side, or we're just waiting
Just
for the
Mike
Bills to get the
Gesicki
ball
under,
back?
but I'm pretty sure he's hurt. I maybe somebody can fact check that for me, but I saw, or he got the catch for 5 yards and then he like fell and then he like went off to the sideline. I feel like he hasn't been in the game since, but maybe somebody in the chat will know.
Nobody tweeted anything about him.
I mean, maybe he's not hurt, but he hasn't been playing. But I need his under.
I mean, the fact is they just play fucking Smythe over him now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, passing really doesn't look like it's going to be affected. Like, they'll still be able to throw the ball, so that's good. We need the Dolphins to. I mean, it sucks because I need McKenzie to go under, but I need the Dolphins to at least put some points up. Ooh, good catch. Good catch, Cedric. Okay, the Dolphins are moving. I mean, the Dolphins have gone pass. Dang, he just caught that shit on his fucking head top. Jesus. just in case. Booker dropped 59 tonight. Do you guys know NBA at all? No, not really. I mean, like, I know, like, players and shit and all that. Like, I'm knowledgeable in NBA. I just don't really keep up with it or bet on it. Usually, I mean, no, that's a lie. I mean, I bet on it. Like, I took Donovan Mitchell under assist tonight, but with NBA, I usually just do like the highest juice props.
Yeah, I don't know a goddamn thing about NBA. I couldn't tell you like more than like 10 players or the teams they play for, but I do bet NBA every week on Prize Picks because they release like tacos and some promo lines. So, I mean, I'll take anything if it's a good line, you know, regardless of sport. Like I've bet quite a bit of hockey this year, tailing Joey, and I definitely could not name every team in the NHL. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, I would say NHL is my second favorite sport now over basketball. I'm actually wearing a Florida Panthers shirt.
Damn, you got Panthers over the Patriots? You need to get a like all peas team. Become a Pelicans fan or some shit. And a Padres fan.
Dolphins are about to punt.
So we got 6 minutes. This might be the last Bills drive.
Probably is.
Unless it's a quick 3 and out.
It's a fair assumption.
Yeah, we live in Rochester, New York, which is like an hour away from Buffalo.
And it's not snowing at all.
Yeah, no, it's not. Seven-yard line, huh?
I need 9 Gabe Davis yards, receiving yards. 9. Like one good catch. Hopefully they just don't go super run.
Gabe catch.
Did he get 9 yards? Was it 9 yards, Josh?
It was more.
No way. No fucking way. Bang! Let's go. All right. Now we got to sweat no McKenzie yards. No Isaiah McKenzie. Nobody put in the chat if Isaiah. I'm not even gonna look at the chat.
I won't spoil it for you. I'm sweating with you. We're like a play behind. That Gabe catch came like 10 seconds after someone said that in the chat. So Joey, don't look at the chat. I'm gonna keep things.
Oh, we need Diggs.
Yeah, we do need Diggs.
There's a penalty. Holding. Oh my god, this is gonna be a major fucking sweat.
So you hit 5 legs so far, right?
Yeah, I mean, James Cook is over by 1.5 yards. Gabe Davis went over. Mostert went over. Mitchell went under. Gesicki is under by 12 yards right now. And McKenzie is under by 6.5. Gabe Davis again. Gabe Davis coming alive on this last fucking drive.
Hey, anybody but McKenzie. Anybody but McKenzie.
Literally do not put it in the chat if McKenzie gets a catch or you're banned. Diggs catch.
Diggs catch. Bang, Jared. There you go. What a fucking hit. Come on. I hit 2. Jared just hit 1. Joey, you got 5 legs. Can we get this one time, bro? One time for the one times?
Yeah, keep on running, please. Bang, Diggs, bang.
God. All right. Yeah. Anybody? We got a couple new people tuning in right now. I mean, we are done talking DFS unless you have questions. I mean, we'll answer questions all the way until we're off this stream. But right now, we are sweating the 6th leg of Joey's 6-leg parlay. Isaiah McKenzie. We need nothing.
Let's go, Singletary. Come on. Keep it moving. Yeah. Right now, I'm 6 of 6 on a 6-leg parlay on DK. And I need Isaiah McKenzie to stay under 25.5 receiving yards. He has 19. I need a Josh Allen. I just need to fucking get him down without throwing it to McKenzie, kick a field goal, win the fucking game. Don't spoil in the chat, please. I'll be hurt. Fuck. He just hit.
No, he didn't. He's at 25.
He's at 25?
He's at 20. It was 6 yards. On the fucking nose, 6 yards. He has 2 for 25 right now.
All right. If Isaiah McKenzie gets another catch, stop looking at your phone. Stop looking at your phone.
All right. I'll put my phone down. I'll put my phone down for you.
All right, 2-minute warning. 2nd and 3.
Bro, how close can it get? Half a fucking yard, dude. I mean, what you also need is for the Bills not to fucking fumble this bag and go into overtime.
I mean, that shit don't matter if McKenzie gets another catch.
I mean, yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Two-minute warning, chat. Isaiah McKenzie, half a yard off right now. Joey's in the clear.
Or ESPN has him at 2 for 24. So he can get a 1-yard catch. Anything more than 1 yard, I lose. But, I mean, what are the chances he gets a 1-yard catch or less?
Yeah, true. He did. He got stat corrected to 24 on DK as well. So you're looking good.
No McKenzie, please. One time for the one time. Please. Just keep on running it. Just keep on running it. Kick the field goal. Get out of there. Please.
Phone is down. I'm a play behind.
I'm still at the 2-minute warning.
Yep. Snow is coming down, bro. Y'all might as well just run it. Just run the ball. Run this shit out. Get a field goal.
They're in position to where they can run the ball out. I'm not looking at the chat. Not looking at the game.
Bro, snow is coming down right now.
Please,
God
one
damn.
time.
Holy shit. I hope the snow doesn't come our way tomorrow.
I don't think it will. Oh, he's not out there on this play. They took him off.
He's tired, bro. Rest him. They don't even need him to win this game.
Run. Yeah, single. Let's go. Keep it pushing. Good run. Let's go, Buffalo.
Nah, it's headed north. Good shit. Anything but east.
Singletary's picking up some good yards right now. 1 minute, 15 seconds left. Where are you at?
I'm at 129. I was right before that last Singletary run.
I'm a little behind, or I'm a little ahead. Don't look at Twitter. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at nothing.
I'm not looking at anything but this fucking Jenny.
1 minute left. A lot of snow.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. You need them to score. Put these dudes in the dirt.
Digs.
So we're looking at a 3rd and 6.
Tyler Bass is clutch if they don't get this, though.
Third and 6. Anybody but McKenzie. 3rd and 6. Anybody but McKenzie. Anybody.
PI on McKenzie. 10-yard line. Please have that pass interference. Please. I think that's PI at the 10-yard line.
Bro, he really just tried to sell you so hard.
I knew he was going to it because I knew that McKenzie was running that route. But, oh my God. Please just have it be PI. Please. Pass interference. Come on.
I mean, they got their... You know they're going to run it twice right now and take Miami's timeouts.
Oh, yeah, 100%. This is prime Josh Allen rushing territory.
Yes.
Oh, he was holding the fuck out of him.
Shit. That man had the McKenzie under too.
Where are they at, though? Okay, they're going heavy right now. They're going heavy. McKenzie's not on the field. McKenzie is not on the fucking field, Ben. It's Gabe Davis out there.
That's what we like to fucking see. 1st and 10. Looks like the 15 or so.
Honestly, I just want Singletary to score this. I don't even want this shit to come down to a field goal, bro.
Yo, right? Right, though? All right. Moderate yardage by Singletary. Dolphins take their time out.
It's not going to be easy, but it's a makeable field goal with no time remaining. And he's not going to be out there. He's not. 10 viewers. If you're watching this, I'm sweating a 6-leg Prize Picks entry for $625. I need under on Isaiah McKenzie, 25.5 yards. He's at 24. So I need the Bills to fucking just win this game. And Ben and I are watching the game. We're a little behind, but maybe I just if this is it, I'm hopping on stream tomorrow at 1:00 and I'm sweating that Jared Goff and Justin Fields under. I swear to God. Singletary. Why do you just score, you fucking asshole? Just score. What are you doing? And that fucks up for DFS too if you played Singletary.
Yeah, which I did everywhere, bro.
Yeah, he just fucking fell down. He had an easy touchdown.
Dog. What do you care about the win more than my fucking bank account?
Just fucking score, you. Oh my God. And he didn't even get the first.
Yeah, he's chopped for that. They're just I mean, they're going for the kick though.
Like, bro, just score, go up 7. Tua's not going to drive the whole field and fucking score a touchdown on you, my guy.
Nah, Bill's still traumatized from the fucking AFC Championship
Mahomes.
last year. They ain't leaving a fucking second on that clock, dude. I mean, there's no way they pass the ball right now, right? Like third
Is
and one.
Is this the fucking tide turning? That's my question
might
to
be.
you. Is this the fucking tide turning?
It might be.
Because we both have sweats for 600 tomorrow, where we're 2 of 6 already.
Yep.
And we have like very similar players in the bets.
Yep.
Josh Allen takes a knee. I swear to God, if he misses this field goal, I'm game-winning field goal, 7-yard line
for $600.
They're clearing
right?
out the snow for Tyler. Come on, Tyler. Don't fucking sell me. Don't fucking sell me. Christmas might not be fucking canceled if he makes this. Phone is down. Christmas might not be fucking canceled.
Come on, let's do it. Let's do it, Tyler. You're him. You always have been.
3 career game-winning field goals in fourth quarter / OT.
2 seconds on the clock. Come on, Tyler.
They're sweeping the snow. Tyler Bass field goal for $625 right here. My first 6x win on Prize Picks. After not winning a bet for the entire month of December, comes down to a 25-yard field goal to make up for all the pain.
Can we
good?
Get it?
Josh said it's good. Let's fucking go. Bang. Now let's
good.
Fucking go.
It's fucking good.
Oh my God.
Could we get some W's in the chat, bro?
WWW. Holy shit.
Let's go.
That's like my biggest hit of the season. Greened out. Bang. Ride that momentum into abso-fucking-lutely. The vibes are fucking high now.
Let's go.
$625. Bang. Put that shit in 20 minutes before the game started.
20 minutes before the game started, you go over by 1.5 yards on James Cook. You fucking get the 1.5 yards under on McKenzie. What a fucking slip, bro. What a slip. Congratulations.
Long time coming. All right. Riding high. Momentum is high for tomorrow. Vibes are high. W's in the chat. Shout out to everybody that still watched. I mean, we've been streaming for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Maybe I'll hop on stream tomorrow and sweat that $500 parlay on Underdog. But God damn, it just feels to see one go through. Finally, it feels good to fucking just have something go your way for once. And Josh, I fucking forgot to bet that.
So did I.
I mean, it was only 10 max, so it was $15. but I opted in and never placed it.
So did I. I even said earlier too when we were talking about it that Josh was the play. That's tough. Tough, but you know what, man? Shout out to you. Anybody who's still watching, shout out to you.
You
Y'all
hit
are the real
both?
MVPs. Yep, I did. I hit 2
Join
prize
the
picks
Discord.
tomorrow. Yep.
Another opportunity to fucking win.
Yeah,
Another
tomorrow's going to be a
cash.
good day. Tomorrow's going to be a good day, man. I feel like this is what we needed, bro. We needed some good fucking momentum going into tomorrow.
Yep,
Let's
got
get
money
it.
to play with tomorrow. Oh my God, finally. Let's go, chat. Let's go. All right.
Just close on out of here, man. Shout out to everybody watching. We appreciate you all. We'll be back next Friday. Won't be doing the Saturday stream on Christmas Eve, you know, family obligations and such, but we will be on Friday. We're not going to leave y'all hanging. Would never do that. So catch you guys on Friday. Maybe Joey will be streaming tomorrow, sweating. We'll see how it goes. And
I mean, that's the only way I could win is if I'm sweating with the fucking boys. So I got, like I said, Jared Goff under. That line's already moved. Justin Fields under. That line's already moved. I wouldn't take it now, but join the Discord. I posted the slip. I post my slips in the Discord. I posted the underdog one in the Discord. That was late at night. I'm up at 2:30 a.m. posting in our chat like, take Jared Goff under 252.5. This line is fucking egregious. Like this, I mean, 230 is correct. Like that's correct. Like I said, the Jets haven't given up a 250-yard plus passer in 12 out of their 13 games. And small hand Jared Goff finally has to get out of his cozy dome. All right. All right, we're out. Shout out to everybody watching.
Catch you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your night.
Jesus. Fuck yeah.